We're back. I know I promised a new video. Obviously, I would have preferred it to be in the gym with Naki demonstrating this, and I will add a new video on this subject when we are allowed to. So this is for people who are still rolling, who just, it's a quick fix to a lot of issues in Jiu-Jitsu. What I'm referring to is the pocket. And the pocket is the fight distance, the actual distance a fight should be happening. So in MMA and boxing, it is spoken of, and in wrestling, it's a combat sport idea. And it's the distance where I can touch the other person. So I can be too far through the pocket where it's now clinch fighting and it's a bit different, especially if you look at this from a wrestling perspective. Or I can be too far out of the pocket and there's no fight happening. We've disengaged. And this is distance management. This is very useful when I play my guard. So the distance, it depends on the person's reach advantage. That should be taken into consideration. But it changes as well depending on what position you're in. So if I'm on my back, I consider the pocket, if I'm playing open guard, as the distance my hands will reach, not my feet. I don't necessarily want my feet to go further than my hands can reach and be backed up. Changes again if you're passing guard, and if you're seated or standing, your reach is going to change of what your hands are capable of. So the pocket is very malleable. But it is the distance where you should be actively hand fighting someone or limb fighting. To assume that you just manage the pocket, go through the pocket and get the grips you want to be able to do your technique is naive. You should be managing that distance with active hand fighting. If I've got someone in my guard, that's all I'm doing is I hand fight them. I try and control where their hands are going. It's very difficult to pass if you haven't got your hands. So I'll make sure I am initiating that fighting. I'll control their hands. Then the next stage of that is be able to, once I've controlled their hands enough and I've baited them enough and balanced them, I'll then go for the grips I want and execute the techniques I want and sweeps, submissions, etc. Or if I'm passing, it's the exact same. I control their hands, I control their legs. It's a lot harder because they've got 4 limbs attacking me. Again, it'll make more sense when I do the actual live version of this. But it's, again, very hard for people to get their guard game going if they have no hands. And it's infuriating that it's not spoken of more in Jiu-Jitsu. Like, it's assumed when we do techniques that the hands have been managed and now we've got our grips and then we do what we want. And it's actually more fun that way for me, because if I've got your hands and you suddenly think, well, I can't pass anymore, you can make people get very lost very fast. So again, I said this would be a quick fix. Something just to take away then is try that when you're playing guard. Manage their hands. Turtle, a very good place to actually practice as well, back, etc. Control their hands, top or bottom, and see what happens. See if they can get their game going. Don't just grab the gi. It's too easy to do that. Grab the wrists, grab the fingers. That's legal. Obviously, you can't go 3s, 2s, 1s, but 4s, go for it. Manage the hands, win that exchange, and then close the distance and get the grips you want. And this is, again, very useful if you've practiced a lot of no-gi, is being able to get those grips and then execute the technique and not be able to chill on your grips. Because if you're chilling on your grips, there's a chance that person's going to hand fight you again and just shut everything down. So if you have a sparring partner you can play with right now, obviously in a safe environment, do so. And just feel what it's like, especially playing guard, just to control their hands, see what techniques they can get going. If it shuts their technique down, good. It's very, very early defense. Like, you don't need to know about different defenses to different submissions or passes or whatever. They've got no hands in the first place. They've got to be able to hand fight effectively to be able to then go and do their technique. So yeah, I'd just be interested. I use it a lot. It makes my fights with my guys, my really high level guys, super boring because nothing ever gets going. Like we're really effective hand fighters, and every time I've taught my early white belts this, I get really good responses. So please have a play and then comment on this video or go on the Discord channel. I'll put a link to that in the description of this one. Please, yeah, I'd love the feedback, and I'm gonna hopefully do another video on this and more demonstrations in the not too distant future. But I hope everyone's safe. I'm looking forward to the America trip. It's really started to come together. If anyone's interested in me coming out to visit, please drop me a message. I got quite a lot of responses after the last one. But yes, thank you.